Yes, folks, that's it. That's right. The organ has just announced it's your man Adolphus A.D. Moore atop the NRG Stadium. That young man off to the my right, your left, my right. George Radman from Western New York, Rochester, the Community Challenge newspaper. Radman, welcome aboard. He came in for the Buffalo Bills, and I'm getting ready to add the other partner in crime here as soon as I pop him up on the screen. He, as usual. There you go. All right, there he
There he
is.
is.
There he is. There's Elwin. He's. I don't know. He's probably. I don't know. You got a sheriff escort going down 60 down to 59, Elwin.
Have I got what?
You got a sheriff escort going down 59 or not? Or you just going
No,
solo now?
no. It's just me, myself, and I. Just the trio.
Uh, okay. All right, folks. The Houston Texans. They played it all the way to the end. They used every bit of the clock today. Ka'imi Fairbairn, 59 yards away, banged the field goal through with no time left on the clock, and the Houston Texans defeat the Buffalo Bills 23-20 today. And this is really this is a tale of two halves, almost a tale of two, really 3 quarters to 1 quarter, and so. I think I can safely say, but it was an interesting contest. George Radney, Elwin Henderson, your initial thoughts on the Texans, this game between the Texans and the Buffalo Bills. George, you can go first, and Elwin, you can play cleanup.
You bet.
I thought this was the game that the Buffalo Bills could have won. I thought it was Buffalo's game to win, actually. I thought the way they were running the ball, I think once Nico Collins left with the hamstring injury after that dramatic 67-yard touchdown pass, a beautifully executed play, I thought once he left the game, the Bills were able to then be able to control the line of scrimmage somewhat and force C.J. Stroud off his spot, which they did a lot in the second half. He started getting hit. He took a lot of hits in the second half, and I thought it was the Bills' games to win. But once again, this loss, you got to pin it on Sean McDermott. Josh Allen was not having a good game. It seemed like the Stephon Diggs thing was in his head. For some reason, he seemed lackluster. He seemed slow and hesitant to release the ball. Guys were wide open. He bounced the balls off the turf to wide open receivers. And also, he never took what the defense gave him. The Texans gave him the flat. The running backs were open. Cook, Ty Johnson was open in the flat. He did not get them the ball at all today. It was a game the Bills didn't play well, but the defense played very well and should have in the second half. And the Bills could have came away with the victory. But passing the ball on 3 straight downs, I've never seen that in the history of the National Football League. A team with 41 seconds left in the game, and you can play for overtime, and you're the opposing team. You get the ball back, boom, and run the ball, run some time. Don't allow this guy to kick, especially when you got a kicker that's better than your kicker and can kick at 60+ yards. It was just Sean McDermott. This loss is for you.
Like this Budweiser's for you.
Well,
That's right. He's probably having one on the plane now, wondering why did I do what I did today.
Go ahead, Elwin.
well, I gotta say, Radman and AD, I agree to piggyback off of you with every single word you said. And it was, as AD, you said at the outset, a game of 3 quarters to 1. At halftime, I know you and I talked about it, AD. We felt pretty comfortable, like the Texans were in total control. But as Radman mentioned, when Nico went out, it's just like that took the sails out of the offense. And of course, C.J. Stroud struggled in that second half. The interception when they were down at the red zone, and then the fumble down there inside the 10. That's not a C.J. Stroud normal game, but I did find it very interesting, and I think that's one of the reasons the Texans are as successful as they are under DeMeco Ryans. He is a different kind of head coach, and I know you've heard him say, just like I did, AD, when he came in for his presser, when he was asked, well, what about CJ and those 2 turnovers, uncharacteristic for him? And he said, I'm proud of CJ. Nobody is more concerned than CJ when those mistakes like that happen. I told him I was proud of him for him getting the 5 yards to give us a realistic shot for that walk-off win. So I think that's a big plus. But also, I have to totally agree with Radman. I swear, I thought I was watching the Dallas Cowboys on those 3 offensive plays from the 2-yard line. Cowboys do stuff like that religiously, frequently, and to see Sean McDermott with a team that's making deep runs in the playoffs every year, unlike the Cowboys do it, I was scratching my head going, okay, did somebody clone Mike McCarthy and put him in Sean McDermott's body? Just in my mind, just like you, Radman, totally inexcusable, and that loss for the Bills definitely is on McDermott. But just like AD covering the Texans, we'll take that W any way we can get it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No. Hey guys, I concur. I tell you what, the determining factor, believe it or not, after that 67-yard strike to Nico Collins, little did we know, and once I went back and saw the replay of it, when Nico got hit back to inside the 20 and got to the 15, I sort of picked up on where he started favoring his hamstring because he sort of slowed up. And I thought, if I'm not mistaken, I thought he caught his right hammy going into the end zone. So, and I could be wrong, but anyway, the fact that, and little did we know that was going to change the course of this game, because up until then, and I just we discussed this on the Radman's live feed going back to Buffalo, a post game show going back to Buffalo. Up until then, Nico was killing them on the hash marks, on the route, on his route tree going on the hash marks. After Nico Collins went out with that hamstring and determined he wasn't coming back. Hey man, the Bills made it tough sledding, and Stephon Diggs, I think he stepped up on some nice pass plays and everything. But to me, that was just one less weapon that the Buffalo Bills, from a defensive standpoint, didn't have to worry about, because the way Nico Collins was running through the Buffalo secondary, it was almost like he was playing 7-on-7, except he was going 1-on-0, and because he was just having his way, at least from that standpoint, because the way he ran through that secondary on that 67-yard touchdown play, I don't even know if it was anybody in that zip code that was. I don't even know who was covering him then, because he ran.
No, that was Rasul Douglas was covering them from the line of scrimmage. But the new rookie safety who's playing because of Mike Edwards being injured, and also Taylor Rapp got the concussion. He's injured as well. The rookie had to step in there, Cole Bishop, and he blew the assignment. He was supposed to pick him up, Nico. He was supposed to pick up Nico Collins after he came past. Rasul Douglas let him go, and the safety did not do what he's supposed to do. We missed Poyer and Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. We missed their veteran leadership on the back end, because that rarely happened. The Bills ever get beat over the top when those guys were here for the past 7-8 years. That's what we got to live with young safeties. And DeMar Hamlin, he's pretty useless out there as well. He makes some tackles, but that's about it. He doesn't break plays up. He's not him. Cole Bishop. These guys are just tacklers. They're not playmakers back there at the safety position.
Well, I'll tell you what, AD, you mentioned a while ago you thought about the 15-yard line was when Nico started favoring that hamstring.
Right.
I agree with you 100%, because if you look at that replay especially, Nico turns his head both to the left and to the right to see how far behind the defenders are that are chasing him at the 15. And when he saw they weren't going to catch him is when he started slowing down. I think that's definitely when it happened. And, thank God he had enough on him that he could slow down and they still didn't catch him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here's the thing about it, guys. And and on George and on you and I, we talked about it, in the second half of the game. James Cook, 20 carries, 82 yards. That's not bad. He was averaging 4.1 yard a carry. And that's why and really the Texans, they did a fairly decent job. Let's put it like they threw up a line of defense to slow the run when they needed to. But for the most part, I thought the Bills had a pretty decent rushing attack today, and particularly with Josh Allen when he would come out the pocket and pull the ball down, But for some reason, I don't, and I be candid with you, I don't know, did Sean McDougall just go brain dead at the end of the game? Now that I just for the life of me, I mean, we looked at one another going like, "What are you doing throwing the ball?" Yeah. I mean, I just thought he mismanaged the clock from a time standpoint. He just mismanaged the clock, and the thing about it, what he did, and here's the key, guys. They were on the 2-yard line. His punter was at the back of the end zone. So think about that. You basically have added 12 yards. Your punter couldn't go normally where he would normally go back for the punting the ball. So really, he basically, you was hoping he could turn the field over, not from the back of the end zone, because Robert Woods, when Woods got caught the punt round about the 45-yard line, I believe, thereabouts. 40-yard line, and basically all the Texans had to play for was for 15 yards, and that's all they had to play for, and they had 3 timeouts. DeMeco Ryans and the Texans had 3 timeouts in their pocket, and lo and behold, and they used them they used the timeouts wisely, and again, why I see why DeMeco Ryans say how proud he was, because when it was winning time, C.J. Stroud done what he needed to do. Everybody done what needed to do from an execution standpoint to give them a chance to give a team an opportunity to win. They got the ball down. All of a sudden, we going for a 49. We going for a 59-yard field goal. And I think I mentioned the Rad Man. I said once they get to the 40, all they want to do is get to the 40, and that's all they needed was 15 yards. All they needed to do was get to the 40. Oh, they got to the 40, and bingo. And I think, realistically, he probably could have hit it from 61 or 62 yards away. It'd have been pushing at 62, but I think he could have hit it from 61. But
definitely. When he made that first down, he didn't even need that. He didn't need those last 5 yards that C.J. Stroud when he gained. He didn't need that at all. That field goal would have went through from where they were the previous play.
I agree.
Yeah. Also, a couple of highlights, guys. Blake Fisher, the rookie out of Notre Dame, just lost Rad Man, but then he'll pop back in. The Blake Fisher got his first start today, and so Blake got his first start today, and I want to I got a chance to. Got a chance to Red Man back. Got a chance to talk to Blake Fisher, the rookie out of Notre Dame, and quickly just want to get his comments and see from where.
Practice, week to week during training camp, and just continuing to get the coaching that we have. I mean, it gave me the confidence, and the ultimate confidence, just to go in there and play ball.
Was it anything different out there in your preparation for the week, and then once you got to the game that you decided to make some adjustments on the fly out of the ordinary than what you had anticipated?
No, I would just say, defenses scheme up certain things, and you come in at halftime, they start to do different things that they saw, and they're trying to attack it, so then you have to make adjustments on the fly. Nothing really huge or out of the ordinary. I think play a really good ball team, and I think we play really well up front.
Yep, folks, that was Blake Fisher there. Got his first NFL start because he in place of Titus Howard. And let's face it, Blake, he had a clean game. I mean, no legal procedures. In fact, the Texans cleaned up a lot, and they cleaned their act up the whole lot from the last 3 weeks. They only had 6 penalties, and they committed all 6 penalties in the third quarter, the same quarter that the Bills made they come back, because up until then, like you mentioned, Elwin, we were looking at one another like, okay, if the Texans could add another touchdown, I felt like they could have Cadillac their way on the rest of the game. But that's the NFL.
Oh yeah.
Good teams are good team, and Buffalo Bills are a good team. And when you give them an opportunity, and between a turnover and just different things that the Bills, because even though they got manhandled last week by the Baltimore Ravens, that was not the same team that wound up coming in the NRG. It was different. No. This was a very competitive. They looked a little lackluster in the first half, Radman and Elwin, but you know what? If they caught fire, and between Josh Allen and and Jones, the running back, and even like I said, between Cook and Allen, they were doing. The Bills were average 5.4 yards a carry today.
Yeah, because you're right, because even James Cook had 4.1 yards average. Ty Johnson, the other running back, had 3 carries for 15 yards. That's a 5 yard per carry. So it makes you wonder, why wouldn't you run the ball at the late of the game when you've been running the ball successfully all day on the Houston Texans? Why wouldn't you run it in those 3 most critical plays of the football game? And then you look at Josh Allen. He was 9 completions out of 30, 9 out of 30 for 131 yards with a 56.4%. So why would you be doing something that he's not doing well of today? And the thing that they are doing well at, you go away from it.
Yeah, made no sense whatsoever. And I was going to ask you, Radman, is that the worst completion percentage Josh Allen has had since he came to the Buffalo Bills?
No, he when he was a rookie, his rookie year. This stat looks like his rookie year. That's what it looks like. It looks like, and he played like his rookie year. He looked nervous. He looked discombobulated. He just looked just confused out there today. He wasn't even running like he would. Even in the old day, he would run a little more. He had opportunities to pick up first downs and slide. He chose to stop. Like when he threw and bounced the ball, he looked like he got in between. Should I run? And then he tried to stop. And as AD said perfectly, he was in between stopping and setting himself and running. And he didn't set himself. He threw the ball without being in the proper throwing position.
Well, it was.
Something else, AD, I asked about.
Go ahead.
That was the 67-yard TD to Nico. That was a 6-second drive.
Yep.
I think that's probably got to be the shortest touchdown drive the Houston Texans have had since they came into the NFL in 2002.
You know what, Elwin? 0.06 seconds, because that was odd when and for folks that don't know, the press box announcer will announce, play, the drive play, number plays, the number, the time and all like that. And when he went one play, 67 yards and 0.6 seconds, and you sort of have to think about that, going like, huh?
Yeah.
6 seconds, and I'm going like, whoa, So, but and like I said, it all turned out. George, I mean, looking at overall at the Buffalo Bills, here's a couple other things I picked up. But I went back to Josh Allen. Now I know when the Josh Allen, I know you were like down on Josh Allen when he first got, because I didn't know if they were going to convert you or not. I didn't know if they had to put you into a conversion. Because I know you were down on, but Josh is, and I thought but he threw a pass going out of bounds, or threw one coming to the sideline and threw it across his body back to the middle of the field, and I'm going like, what the? But I just sit there and say, okay. But like I say, if he'd have made the play, but to me that was a very dangerous throw for him going to the side, almost about to go out of bounds and throw it across his body like that.
He did that the last 2 weeks against the Ravens. He did it he lucked up. Secure was behind the defenders. He was and he had to just throw it as deep. He threw it deep as hard as far as he could as he was being pushed out of bounds. And Secure caught it at about the 15-yard line and got tackled at like the 4-yard line. Bills went in. Ty Johnson on the next play ran it in for a touchdown. But I don't know if the Buffalo media is talking about it when they get back today or tomorrow or all throughout the week. But my biggest concern was when Josh Allen had bounced off the turf. Okay, normally they take your helmet and take you in, and you go in for observance inside the building, not only in the blue tent. And if I was Sean McDermott, why did he not allow Trubisky to finish the drive? Trubisky came in there at the ball at the 15-yard line. Why don't you have Trubisky? Hey, he's your backup. Let's see what he can do, man. Let's hope he can get a touchdown. Let him throw the ball. Let him make some plays. Maybe he'll dump it off to the running back. The Bills might even score. He might turn it over. But let's see what happens. I wouldn't allow Josh Allen back on the field to even. I couldn't believe he come running back out there and got back into play. And come on. He ain't the only quarterback you have. Let the backup. Let's see what he can do. Get Josh Allen checked out, get him thoroughly, his head together, and get him. If he could come back in the next series after this one, but not on that series like that. No way.
Yeah, well, the guy next to me and I were talking about that when it happened. His head bounced hard that first time, and then it bounced on the turf again a second time. I've never seen an NFL player, even just the first hit, as hard as Josh Allen's head bounced, that didn't have a concussion. I was almost wondering if they maybe failed to check him out as much as they should have, and if maybe at least he did have a slight concussion, and that was affecting his play the rest of the game.
Well, hey, guys, wait a minute, hold up. Doesn't the NFL have spotters up in the press box that's supposed to take control of a situation like that? We all saw the same thing. We all saw his head bounce, dribble, and bounce again off the turf, and they had basically had to come get him. Explain to me how he got past concussion protocol that quick? That's what
I'm saying.
And I'm gonna tell you something, guys. Do not be surprised if we may not hear about it, in the next couple of days. But I think the NFLs probably need to address how did he get past concussion protocol that quick? If somebody determined, because that was very quick for him to get one play and he's back.
Yeah.
How does that happen? And how did the spotters up in the press box let him come back? Because normally when they take you off like that, they take your helmet away from him. How did he get his helmet back that quick? I'm just asking question, guy. This is about the safety of an athlete, about a player and his future down the road. How did the NFL protocols allow this guy to get his helmet after one play? That's the question.
I'm with you 100%.
I agree.
100%. It made no sense whatsoever.
And how is he going to be feeling, guys, on the plane ride back to Buffalo on a long train ride with a serious headache? He got to have some. Because he came in the press conference, he spoke. He always the first one in with his uniform on. He always comes in and does a real quick one. If you're not down there out of the press box right before the end of the game, you're going to miss him because he comes in, answers a few questions, jumps up, and walks out. And he came in with his regular entourage, the media people bringing him in. And I was surprised. We were already there waiting on him. I asked him a question about some of the plays, why he was hesitant and why he was not taking what they gave him. He seemed okay. He wasn't disoriented, but you could kind of tell he was answering with quick answers. He wasn't elaborating long at all. So it could easily be a problem on Wednesday. I would not be surprised to see him not practice on Wednesday coming up.
Yeah, I was fixing to say I wouldn't be surprised if he did have even a mild concussion. That plane ride at 38,000 feet is going to put pressure on his head. I wouldn't be a bit surprised for it to come out in the next day or two that he was in concussion protocol and maybe even miss the whole game next week, which is the last thing the Bills need to have happen.
Right. Especially with Mitchell Trubisky, we don't have if you can't trust the man for one series inside the 15-yard line of your opponent, then when are you going to trust the guy, man? Come on. The guy came in, warmed up, He got loose. He went in there. I thought I would have called a play action pass and had him do something simple. Just dump it to the back, even if it was a 2-yard or 1-yard pass or something, and let him hit the running back and sit and try to run it in. But the Bills been successful with that with their running game. I'm just surprised how that transpired.
Yeah, me too. It just makes no sense, like we've all three said.
And that's Sean McDermott. If Sean McDermott wasn't,
I'm not holding. I mean, the fact that he came back that quick. Yeah, I know Sean, but the thing about it, I'm trying to figure out the guy in the sky, that neutral observer in the sky.
Yeah.
How did he manage to get back on the field that quick? That's what I'm questioning right now. I'm not. This is not on Sean McDermott because we understand in the flow of the game. I want to know, how did the NFL? This is NFL protocol, and on NFL, how did the NFL protocol within one play? This guy got his helmet. He's coming back out on the field. That's the question I have right now, and then so we'll probably hear about some. Yeah, and George, y'all probably hear about something up there in the next few days or so. But I guarantee you, I don't think NFL protocol will follow in this particular situation because he did go in the blue tent.
Yeah. And one of the guys sitting next to me, guys, said, "Here's the one comment I'm going to make about that. Nobody else would have been out of that tent that quick but Josh Allen." And I'm sitting here wondering, did he go in there and go, "Hey, look, I'm okay"? And they asked him, "What's 9-1?" And he said 10. "Okay, get your helmet. You're good." I'm wondering if he sold it to them and sounded okay, and they cut corners and didn't do the full protocol.
Elwin, let me tell you something. Again, I'm staying by my point. The eye in the sky should have supposed to call down and go like no, because that's all I'm saying. NFL protocol might have failed Josh Allen in this situation. I think
it did.
So that being the case. Oh,
hey, one last thing on that subject. His head coach, not only the man in the sky, the head coach failed Josh Allen, because this guy, Josh Allen, 9 completions out of 30 for 131 yards. Why are you rushing him back into the game when he could have a possible concussion? Let the backup quarterback play it out. Let a fresh quarterback come in and play it out. If he's not good enough, Mr. Trubisky doesn't need to be on the team. But you don't rush a guy who's 9 out of 30 and he got a possible head injury out in the critical point of the game. You don't rush him back out on the field.
Well, and there again, on that same subject, maybe that's a good reason why he was 9 out of 30 for the game, because he was nowhere close to the normal Josh Allen mentally because of that hit.
Well, hey, Rad man, that'll be something that y'all gonna probably be following up with. And I'm probably sure you're probably on your platforms and everything. We just be following. By the way, how do folks follow you and give folks your the Real Deal Sports Show on the Beat 105.5 in Buffalo? Give them all the information on your show, and then Elvin, you can where you writing in the Redman. Give them where can they find you at?
You can find us at Real Deal Sports Show on YouTube. Check us out. Like us, subscribe to us. You'll get notifications for the show. We have a lot of interesting guests on the show each week, 8 to 9 a.m. Every Saturday morning on the Beat 105.5 WLGZ HD 2 105.5 out of Rochester, New York, the Beat 105.5. Or check us out on YouTube as well. And one quick thing, if you could ask your coach, did Stephon Diggs help out with scouting? Because I think Stephon Diggs did a great scouting for the defense, because they played Josh Allen, and Josh Allen could see that he couldn't figure out what to do. I think Stephon Diggs was a good defensive coordinator this past week for the Houston Texans.
Oh, I can answer that.
Point.
Good point. I can answer that for you right now. Oh, I'm pretty sure he did dispense a lot of pertinent information on how and put up a defense around Josh Allen, because if you notice it, they did a pretty good job of trying. They didn't just go. They stayed in there. I think the key was by Josh Allen. If you got out of your passing lanes and get wild with your passing lane, Josh Allen would kill you. And I even though he had 54 yards on 4 rushes today, But normally, this is at the plays that broken down. Is when he was successful. For the most part, I think the Texans were very disciplined in their rush lanes today, George and Radman. And so, yeah, I don't have to ask. I already know. I can tell you that just from understanding being around this team. So I can say that unequivocally. I'm sure I know he did. But that's part of the process when other players. But in this case, and I think George, I don't know if you got a chance to hear, but he like Stephon did say, and I don't have the cut here, but it will be out there. Stephon did say, yeah, he tried to downplay this week coming in because he knew how he tried to keep it more on the team. But yeah, he cherished this victory today. I can guarantee you that.
Oh yeah.
And George, you were right there. I know Elwin was on the other part of the locker room, but you didn't. Stephon Diggs, he got a lot out of this victory today. I guarantee you. If I wouldn't be surprised if he's not buying Ka'imi Fairbairn, he not buying him, giving him Ka'imi Fairbairn might see Christmas coming from Stephon Diggs after hitting that 59-yarder today, man. I wouldn't be surprised. Also, folks, about to say, as Radman had mentioned about, like them and subscribe and whatever. Same thing here. The AdMax Corner YouTube channel on if you have not subscribed, please do so. If you're watching this on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, subscribe there. Subscribe to both of us. Like us on both of them. Like us on Instagram. Like us on Facebook. Like us everywhere you can because we are out there. Elwin, as you get ready to roll down the road and let you go ahead and ride into the sunset there. Closing comments about this game today, and then what we're looking forward to for next week, because the Texans will be on the road for the next 2 weeks. The New England Patriots and the Green Bay Packers, respectively, coming up.
Yep. Well, I, as you know, talked to Chris Boyd, my former Gilmer Buckeye, about downing that punt at the 2-yard line on that last punt. And he brought up something that you and I have discussed before, AD. We know that C.J. Stroud is a very strong believer in God, a very strong Christian. We know D'Amico Ryans is the same way. And when I was talking to Chris Boyd about the question I had asked D'Amico about him, what changed in him, and he said it was his technique. He got here, and when he plays technique like he can play it, you're going to get results like that out of him. And I mentioned that to Chris, and he said, well, I'm going to tell you what. Yes, D'Amico spent time with me one-on-one when I got here. He said he genuinely cares about you. I'd run through a brick wall for that man. And he said, but I'm going to tell you what. He said, a lot of this is my personal faith in God. And Chris Boyd, when he was in Gilmer, he was anything but somebody who would talk about God. And, I mean, I think being around CJ and D'Amico has really helped Chris. So I asked him, I said, Chris, do you think part of the reason this team is sitting at 4-1 is because of the deep Christian faith that D'Amico and CJ and you have? And he said, oh, yeah, that's part of it. But he said, you got to understand, we have tons of Christian men in this locker room. We all have a ton of faith. And that faith is what carries us. And I think that is a big reason why they're sitting at 4-1. And as far as the next 2 weeks, the New England Patriots are kind of a Jekyll Hyde this year. You don't know which team is going to show up which week. The Texans should be favored in that game. The Packers is going to be another one of these games like Buffalo and like Jacksonville was last week, I think. They're going to have 2 tough road victories. I feel like they'll win both of them, but they're going to have to play even better than they did today to come back with 2 more victories, I think.
Okay. All right, Elwin. Hey, man, be careful on the road. Oh, by the way, obviously you on it. Where do they find you at on social media? I know I got it run across the bottom down here, but let me see, Elwin at on X, and where else?
I'm also www.gilmer, and that's GILMER, mirror, just like the mirror you look into.com, www.gilmermirror.com. And also I'm on Facebook under Elwin Henderson, And I have already posted my 6-minute interview with Chris Boyd on my Facebook page. So it's all there if you want to see any of that.
All right, bro. Hey, man, appreciate you as always. We'll be in
Appreciate
touch. Talk to you. Be careful going down the road, man. Take care of yourself, man.
Will do. And hey, George, it was great to get to see you in person again, brother.
Same here. Same here. Look forward to seeing you most likely at Super Bowl with God willing. See you in New Orleans.
All right, you bet, man. Have a safe trip back to Buffalo when you shuffle off.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, Elwood.
You
Take
too.
care.
Bye-bye.
Take care, man.
Will do.
All right, George. Final comments from you again. Let folks know where they can find you at, and final comments from you as we get ready. You sitting there with the night. Folks don't know George. George was just appreciating his son. I mean, you from Buffalo. I know you probably going like, I know it's gonna snow, but hey, let me when the snow is hitting, you can think about sitting in that sun in that booth over there, man. While we doing this show, man. But final point for you, let folks know where you are, where they can find you and everything, and your show again.
One last time, Real Deal Sports Show, YouTube, like us, subscribe, notifications, you'll receive them. It costs you nothing, but it means an awful lot to us. Real Deal Sports Show on YouTube, on the beat 105.5. Check out our guests each week. And even scroll down, you'll see from past Super Bowls, the Las Vegas Super Bowl, a lot of great guests we interviewed. You get a chance to see some of those fine interviews from back in February from the Super Bowl week in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we look forward to broadcasting live from New Orleans, Louisiana in February for this upcoming Super Bowl week. And check us out there. Also, the Challenger Community News, thechallengernews.com. You can see my articles in the Challenger newspaper, Western New York's largest weekly African-American newspaper, AD.
All right, George. I appreciate it, bro. I'll catch you in a little bit. If we're getting ready, I'm getting ready to go ahead. You can go. I'll let you out the box, man. I'll let you out the sun box. I know you like it though, but I'm gonna let you out the sun box. Okay.
Love it, man. Take care. Thank you so much for having me on the show, and thank you personally for the hospitality you showed me this week. Great hospitality. You, Chris Gardner, Houston Roundball. Great seeing you guys and continuing to work with you to continuing the legacy of Max Edson from the Houston Defender newspaper.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much, man. All right, folks. As we get ready to wrap it up, like I say, the sun as it sets beautifully in the west. The Texans today, Ka'imi Fairbairn banged a 59-yarder to kick the Texans to a victory over the Buffalo Bills today, with 2 seconds left on the clock. 23-20. Great game. I mean, this was a good game. It was an outstanding game. Like I said, this was 3 quarters to 1 quarter. One last point I want to just, and I'll be remiss if I didn't do it, but I want to play Coach, and I asked him about how did that 1 quarter we keep talking about. Let me go ahead. I want to put him in right before we shut it down. No.
In control, and all of a sudden it's third quarter, because that's the quarter where you committed all your 90% of your penalties and everything. Y'all clean up until that third quarter, and it's almost like it got away from you.
The third quarter was definitely our sloppiest moment in this game. Felt really good in the first half, like no penalties, we played clean, no sacks. Like, man, we were humming there in the first half, and then come back out. Third quarter, I know we took a step in that third quarter, our offense being able to go down and we were able to get points there. That was a step forward for us. We got better, but just the penalties, right? Again, like we had a costly penalty there, hitting the quarterback to give them, better field position. And that was third quarter wasn't who we are, but I really, really love the way our guys stepped up in the fourth. And that's what the league is. Games are gonna be tight. That's what it means. Come within 1 score almost every week. It's about how you close it out and having a chance there at the end, and we made the plays we needed to make.
And that was, folks, as we get ready to wrap it up and get out of here and get out of NRG Stadium. I won't be reporting from here. I'll be reporting somewhere. More than likely, Lord willing, I won't be in Foxborough, but I will, Lord willing, I will get a chance to to cross off one of those bucket lists on my list. I get you being Lambeau Field when the Texans go up and play the Green Bay Packers and get a chance to go up there and be in Wisconsin and just to take in the historical significance of being at Lambeau Field. But this is your man, Adolphus A.D. Moore, about to sign off from high atop the NRG Stadium. Again, the Houston Texans over the Buffalo Bills 23-20. Ka'imi Fairbairn banged a 59-yard field goal with 2 seconds left on the clock and kicked the Texans to a victory. If you have not subscribed to the AdMax Corner YouTube channel, please do so. Like us. Subscribe to us. If you have, and follow me on Instagram. Follow me on AD_Moore64 on X. Also follow me on the YouTube Shorts, because in fact some of the content from this contest today will be out on the YouTube Short and all the other platforms. So as we get ready to say good night, have a good rest of your evening, and have a good Monday, good rest of the week coming up. Everybody be blessed, be safe, and your man's out of here. I've had a great time. I enjoyed having George Radney in the city and enjoyed having Elwin. Just got a chance to kick it around with the fellas today. So, and with all the other things that go around with. So, as humans and being able to appreciate the camaraderie of having friends and doing all that. But as always, we're grateful, we're blessed. Thank you for listening. Thank you for, even if you have complaints, I'll accept the complaints, because none of us are perfect, but we do the best that we can do, and I appreciate it. So thank you. Thank everybody. I'm getting ready to sign off. I'm out. Ciao. And we'll see you somewhere next week after the Texans against the New England Patriots. Ladies and